My friends, I need you to stop what you're doing right now because what I'm about to share with you could mean the difference between worrying about your bills this month and having that peace of mind you deserve. If you're receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits, the Social Security Administration has just announced something that's going to affect when your money hits your bank account, and I don't want you to be caught off guard. You've worked hard your entire life, paid into the system for decades, and now that it's your turn to receive the benefits you've earned, you deserve to know exactly when that money is coming and how much you can expect. I've been hearing from so many of you lately telling me you're confused about the deposit schedules, worried about whether your payment will arrive on time, and frustrated because nobody seems to explain these things in plain English anymore. Well, that ends today. I'm here to walk you through exactly what's happening with these Tuesday deposits that are scheduled before February, who's going to receive them, what amounts you should be looking for in your account, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to make sure you don't miss out on a single penny. This isn't just another routine update, my friends. The timing of these payments could help you get ahead of your February expenses, and I want to make sure you're prepared. Now, let me explain what's really going on here with these Tuesday deposits. The Social Security Administration has a very specific payment schedule that they follow every single month, and understanding this schedule is absolutely crucial for planning your household budget. Normally, if you've been receiving Social Security retirement or disability benefits since before May 1997, your payment comes on the third day of each month. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is what you need to pay close attention to. When the third of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the SSA moves that payment to the last business day before the third. This is exactly what's happening right now, and it's creating this situation where some of you are going to see your February money arrive in January, which is actually a beautiful thing if you know how to use it to your advantage. For those of you who started receiving benefits after May 1997, your payment schedule is based on your birth date, and this is where a lot of the confusion comes in. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your Social Security payment typically arrives on the second Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, you get paid on the third Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the fourth Wednesday. But SSI recipients, now you're on a completely different schedule, and I want to make sure you understand your situation because it's unique. SSI payments always come on the first day of the month, but just like with the other benefits, if the first falls on a weekend or holiday, your payment gets moved up to the last business day of the previous month. So here's what this means in real dollars and cents for you right now. If you're an SSI recipient, you need to mark your calendar because your payment that would normally arrive on February 1st is actually going to hit your account earlier. We're talking about Tuesday, January 28th in most cases, depending on how the calendar falls. This means you're going to have your February money before February even begins. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, that's wonderful, but what about my January payment? Don't worry, you already received that, and this is your February payment coming early. The average SSI payment right now is around $943 for an individual, and if you're a couple both receiving SSI, you're looking at about $1,415. These amounts reflect the cost of living adjustment that went into effect this year, and while I know many of you were hoping for more, every dollar counts when you're living on a fixed income. For Social Security retirement beneficiaries, the average monthly check right now is sitting at about $1,976 after the recent COLA increase. Now, if you're receiving the maximum benefit because you worked for many years at high earnings and waited until age 70 to claim your benefits, you could be getting as much as $4,973 per month. But I want to be realistic with you, my friends. Most of you watching this are probably somewhere in between those numbers, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is understanding exactly when your specific payment is coming and making sure you're getting every penny you're entitled to. Now let me talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough, and that's the issue of benefit reductions and offsets that can affect how much actually shows up in your bank account. If you're working while receiving Social Security before you reach full retirement age, there's an earnings limit you need to be aware of. For this year, if you're under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to $22,920. But for every $2 you earn above that limit, Social Security will withhold $1 in benefits. I've seen this catch so many people by surprise, and suddenly they're wondering where part of their check went. If you're reaching full retirement age this year, the limit is higher, about $60,790, and the withholding is less severe at $1 for every $3 over the limit. But once you reach full retirement age, my friends, you can earn as much as you want without any reduction to your Social Security benefits. There's also something called the windfall elimination provision that affects some of you who worked in jobs that didn't withhold Social Security taxes, like certain government positions or jobs overseas. If this applies to you, your Social Security benefit might be reduced, and it's important to understand that calculation so you're not shocked when you see a lower amount than you expected. Similarly, the government pension offset can reduce spousal or survivor benefits if you receive a pension from work not covered by Social Security. These rules are complicated, I know, but understanding them means you can plan your finances accurately instead of being caught off guard. Let me also address something that's been causing a lot of anxiety lately, and that's Medicare premiums coming out of your Social Security check. The standard Medicare Part B premium for this year is $185 per month for most people. But if you're a higher income beneficiary, you might be paying more through what's called IRMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. This premium gets automatically deducted from your Social Security payment before it hits your bank account, so the amount you actually receive is your gross benefit minus your Medicare premium and any other deductions you've authorized. I've talked to folks who were expecting the full average benefit amount and were confused when they saw less in their account, and 9 times out of 10, it's because they forgot about the Medicare premium deduction. Now, for my veteran friends watching this, I want to make sure you understand how your VA benefits interact with Social Security. The good news is that VA disability compensation doesn't reduce your Social Security benefits at all. These are two completely separate systems, and you can receive the full amount from both without any offset. However, if you're receiving VA pension benefits, which are need-based rather than disability-based, there can be some interaction with SSI because SSI is also need-based and counts other income. But for most of you receiving VA disability compensation, you're in the clear to receive both your full VA payment and your full Social Security benefit. Let me share a real-life example to make this crystal clear. I was talking to Margaret last week, a 72-year-old retired teacher who receives $1,800 a month in Social Security. She also receives a small pension from her teaching years of about $600 monthly. Margaret was worried that her pension would reduce her Social Security, but I explained to her that pensions from private employment don't reduce Social Security retirement benefits at all. The only time we worry about pension offsets is with pensions from non-Social Security covered government work. Margaret also qualified for about $400 in prescription drug assistance through her state, and I made sure she understood that this benefit wouldn't affect her Social Security either. By understanding exactly what income sources interact with each other and which don't, Margaret was able to plan her budget with confidence instead of living in fear that something would be taken away. Here's something else that's incredibly important, my friends, and that's understanding the tax implications of your Social Security benefits. Depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could be subject to federal income tax. Now, before you panic, let me explain how this works. Social Security uses something called combined income, which is your adjusted gross income plus any non-taxable interest plus half of your Social Security benefits. If you're single and your combined income is between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your benefits may be taxable. Above $34,000, up to 85% may be taxable. For married couples filing jointly, those thresholds are $32,000 and $44,000. But here's the thing, even if 85% of your benefits are taxable, that doesn't mean you'll owe taxes on them. It depends on your total income and deductions. Some states also tax Social Security benefits while others don't, so you need to check your specific state rules. Now let me give you some smart strategies to maximize your benefits and make the most of these early payment dates. First, if you're getting your February SSI payment on that Tuesday in late January, consider this a blessing that allows you to get ahead on your February bills. If you have rent or a mortgage due on the 1st, you can pay it early and avoid any late fees. If you have utilities or other regular expenses, getting that money a few days early gives you breathing room. Some of you have told me you like to immediately set aside money for bills as soon as your deposit hits, and getting paid early makes that strategy even more effective. Second, if you're married and both receiving benefits, coordinate your payment schedules so you know exactly when money is coming into your household. Some couples get their payments on different days based on their birth dates, and knowing this helps you plan which bills get paid when. Third, if you're still working part-time and you're under full retirement age, keep meticulous records of your earnings so you don't accidentally go over that earnings limit and trigger benefit withholding. I've seen too many people have to pay back benefits because they weren't tracking their earnings carefully. Another strategy I want you to consider is making sure you're signed up for direct deposit if you aren't already. Direct deposit means your money hits your account reliably on the scheduled date without any risk of lost or stolen checks. It's faster, safer, and more secure. You can set up direct deposit by contacting Social Security directly or through your bank. And while we're talking about managing your money, make sure you have a My Social Security account set up online. This free account lets you check your payment history, verify your benefit amount, get your tax documents, and make sure all your information is correct. I can't tell you how many problems can be solved just by logging into your account and checking the details. Let me also address something that comes up a lot, and that's what happens if your payment doesn't arrive when you expect it. First, don't panic. Check your My Social Security account to confirm the payment was actually sent. Make sure you're looking at the right payment date based on your specific situation. If the payment was sent but hasn't arrived in your account after 3 business days, contact your bank first to make sure there isn't a hold or issue on their end. If your bank confirms they haven't received it, then contact Social Security at their main number. Have your Social Security number ready and be prepared to verify your identity. Most payment issues get resolved quickly once you make that call. My friends, I want to wrap this up by reminding you of something important. These benefits are yours. You earned them through years of hard work and paying into the system. Don't ever feel embarrassed or ashamed about receiving Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. You deserve these benefits, and you deserve to understand exactly how they work. The system can be confusing, I know, with all these different payment schedules and rules and regulations, but that's why I'm here. I want to help you navigate this so you can live your retirement years with dignity and peace of mind. Mark your calendars for those Tuesday deposits, understand which payment schedule applies to your specific situation, and make sure your direct deposit information is up to date. Check your bank account on the expected payment date, and if you see a different amount than you expected, don't assume something is wrong. Review your benefit statement, check for Medicare premium deductions, and make sure you understand what your net payment should be after all deductions. If something still doesn't add up, contact Social Security right away. The sooner you address any issues, the sooner they can be resolved. You've got this, my friends, and I've got your back every step of the way.